I just love some of the things that come out when I have conversations with people. So earlier this week, I got to reconnect with a friend that is in one of the companies that I'm aligned with. And she was talking about how she was focusing on basically relaunching her business. And that the hurdle that she was coming across is about the lack of support from sponsors or uplines, whichever verbiage that you use, for that. But the person that introduced them to the company and that helped them get started with the business the first time around is not available for one reason or another. So before we dive more into that conversation, I want to say aloha and welcome. Be sure to say hello. And this is episode number 54 of Releasing the Badass in You. And so here we were talking about releasing that badass within us, right? During that conversation, as she's talking about relaunching a business that had been put on the shelf for a little bit. Where while it's on the shelf, it's existent and just not growing, right? So as she's ready to get the ball rolling again, pick up that off the shelf, the biggest concern is the support. And that is something that I have come across a number of times with individuals across many different network marketing companies. So it's not in just one that it happens, right? It kind of seems to happen across the board where the person that sponsored you, that introduced you, that recruited you is not available for one reason or another. And it can cause some hurdles. The thing is, you as a network marketer are in charge. You are in charge of your own business. You do not per se need to have that upline, that sponsor, that person that recruited you. You don't per se need them. However, to have support, to have guidance is fantastic. And so we talked about different resources that are available for support, right? We talked about you can reach out to corporate of the company that you're with. If you do not have the support that you need, you can reach out and say, hey, I need some support. Who can you connect me with? It's a great question to ask. Other things that can be done is, and in this particular case, I actually know of a group that works together, that it doesn't matter who's your upline, who's your downline, who's your sideline, or byline, zip line, whichever kind of line, that it doesn't matter, that everybody works together. And that there's resources, that there is training, that there are events that you can all participate in within that particular company. So able to plug her into that, right? And I'm glad to have resources and to have that at my disposal, because I was in that same boat for that particular company, and actually for the other one, but that's okay. For that particular company, the person that introduced me to the company, once I became a ambassador representing that brand, things happen in that person's life and they needed to step back. So they needed to do that, right? And I was ready to actually start growing the business. So what was I to do? Well, it's my own business. I'm in charge. So it's my own responsibility, not somebody else's, right? And so something that I like to do with my team is to have more available on an individual basis. And I know that as my team grows, it's going to become a little bit harder and harder, depending on the size of the team, right? To do more one-on-one individual hand-holding at the start until they're ready to like let go of the hand and walk on their own, or run or sprint or marathon, whatever pace that they want to pick. And that is one thing that I'm going to say is very important, that whoever you choose to work with, and by the way, if you want to work with somebody and do a little side gig, feel free to reach out. I'll put the link in the comments of where you can fill out a form for joining my team. And we're going to do like a little interview kind of thing, because guess what? Not everybody gets to join my team. Okay? But on my team, something that I enjoy doing is having that one-on-one coaching time or mentoring time based on the individual. So sometimes it's getting on a Zoom and even just doing a walkthrough of how to do certain steps, or a walkthrough of how to use the tools, right? Each person is different, and each person has their own pace. And I just said it earlier this week to one of my team members. I said, you pick the pace, because there are things that are going on in your life that I don't know every single detail of what's going on. So sometimes you want to jog, sometimes you need to stroll, sometimes you sprint, sometimes you're marathoning, so keeping a steady pace, right? Based on different things that are going on in life. So I do get very excited about this. And if I am here and pushing you a little too hard, now there's nothing wrong with pushing, right? It's good to do a little pushing. Realizing that sometimes pushing can be done a little too hard. So I said, if I push too hard, because I'm super excited about this, because we are making a great impact with this movement. If I'm pushing too hard because of circumstances, and I know some of the circumstances, I said, feel free to go break, pause. I need to go slower. And that I'm not going to take it personally, and that it's okay for the person to say, I need to go slower. You're pushing too hard. Now, if you say that, I'm going to ask, am I really pushing too hard? Are there things that are going on in your life? Are you using those as excuses? Because we can be using those as excuses, right? Or is it really something that, you know what, right now, we do need to go slower? And those are great conversations to have. So conversations to have where it's not something that I take personally, but I want you to be open in communicating, that there's no judgment, that there's no need to be afraid of saying, oh, Marianne, this is what's going on, and I need to pause for a moment. What I ask of my team members is, let's communicate. Because I even had something that happened not too long ago, where a team member did not communicate something. And when we got on the phone, I was like, oh, well, if we had a conversation about it just like 24 hours before, it could have been a whole other scenario. So communication is key. Working with somebody that is there to support you is key. And if you don't have somebody there that supports you, that is there to encourage you, that is there to guide you, that is there to encourage you to also take the lead, maybe you need to revisit who is your support team. Okay? And so who do you reach out? So reaching out to other people in your company, if you are with a company. If you're not with a company yet, to do something on the side, let me know. If you are a network marketer already and you need a tool to help with your company, let me know, because I do have an amazing tool that is fantastic for network marketers. So with that said, I'm going to wrap it up. This is episode number 54 of Releasing the Badass in You. And I look forward to seeing you back here for episode number 55. So be sure to like, comment, share. And if you have any questions, do reach out and let me know. All right, till next time, toodle pip, a hooey ho, and aloha.